Hey there, ready to dive in.
Mm.
You know how everyone's buzzing about this ChatGPT thing?
Yeah.
It seems like you're on a mission to really get this whole AI thing, and you've sent over a stack of articles, videos, even your own notes.
Right.
Well, get this, ChatGPT is not just another tech trend, it's actually breaking records, growing faster than any app in history.
Really?
We're talking faster than TikTok, faster than anything you've ever seen, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is really something.
it is.
It's true. The speed at which ChatGPT has entered the mainstream is remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the numbers. What's truly fascinating is what this surge in popularity tells us.
Mm.
People are hungry to understand this technology and what it means for the future.
Right, and think about this. Some experts believe AI might already be generating more words than humans ever have.
Wow.
That's a whole lot of text. So for this deep dive, let's break down what ChatGPT actually is. You ready to demystify this thing?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
At its core, ChatGPT is what we call a large language model. Now, before your eyes glaze over, imagine feeding a computer program the entire Library of Alexandria, plus billions of web pages, books, everything you can think of. That's essentially what ChatGPT has digested during its training.
So it's like having the world's biggest bookworm on speed dial,
Right,
except this bookworm can actually write its own books.
precisely. But here's the key difference. ChatGPT isn't just memorizing information. It's learning patterns, connections, the nuances of language. Think of it like this. You give a child a set of building blocks. They might start by copying the structures you show them, but soon they're creating their own unique designs. That's what's so remarkable about ChatGPT. It takes this massive amount of data and uses it to generate something entirely new.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's get specific. We're talking about a computer program understanding language. How does that even work? Is it like a super-powered dictionary in there?
It's actually much more sophisticated than a dictionary. ChatGPT relies on something called a neural network, a complex system inspired by the human brain. Picture a web of interconnected points, each representing a different aspect of language. Now multiply that by well, a lot. We're talking about 175 billion connections that are constantly adjusting and learning as ChatGPT processes information.
175 billion, I can barely remember my grocery list. But how do those connections actually help ChatGPT make sense of words and sentences?
Imagine you're a chef and you're trying to create a new dish.
Okay.
You don't just randomly throw ingredients together, right? You rely on your sense of taste, your knowledge of which flavors complement each other, which ones clash.
Right.
That's kind of what ChatGPT does with words.
Yeah.
It uses a technique called embeddings to understand meaning and context.
Okay, so ChatGPT's got a digital palette for words.
Yeah, exactly. It's like giving each word a unique flavor profile. ChatGPT can then analyze these profiles to see how words relate to each other. Similar words would have similar profiles, while unrelated words would be completely different.
So when I asked ChatGPT to write a poem about cats, it's not just pulling random cat-related words from a hat. It's actually understanding the nuances of those words and how they fit together poetically.
That's the idea.
Hmm.
It's using its understanding of language gained from analyzing that massive amount of data to generate responses that are relevant, coherent, and surprisingly creative.
This is blowing my mind. But I have to ask, with all this power, how do we make sure ChatGPT doesn't go rogue? It's not like it has a conscience, right?
You're hitting on a crucial point. While ChatGPT is incredibly advanced, it's still a machine learning model. It doesn't have intentions or desires like humans do. However, it does learn from the data it's trained on. So it's important to make sure that data is as unbiased and comprehensive as possible.
So if ChatGPT was trained on a dataset full of grumpy cat memes, it might think all cats are grumpy. That's both hilarious and a little concerning.
Think about it this way. If you only ever read books about grumpy cats, you might start to think all cats are grumpy, even though that's not necessarily true. The same principle applies to AI. The quality and diversity of its training data are crucial to shaping its responses.
That makes sense. So how do the developers of ChatGPT ensure it's learning from the right kind of data? It's not like they can fact-check every single word it's ever seen.
It's an ongoing process of refining and improving the training data, as well as the algorithms that govern how ChatGPT learns OpenAI. The organization behind ChatGPT employs various techniques, including human feedback, to guide the system towards more accurate, unbiased, and helpful responses.
Okay, that's reassuring. It's like sending ChatGPT to charm school to polish its manners and make sure it plays well with others. But all this talk of training data and algorithms, it's fascinating, but what does it actually mean for us in the real world? Like, how will ChatGPT change things?
The potential applications of this technology are vast. Let's say you're writing an email, and you're struggling to find the right words. ChatGPT can help you draft that email, making it more concise, engaging, and professional.
Ooh, like having a personal copywriter on call 24/7. That would be amazing. What else can it do?
Imagine needing to summarize a dense research paper quickly. ChatGPT can analyze the paper and provide you with the key takeaways in a matter of seconds. Or, let's say you're learning a new language. ChatGPT can act as your personal tutor, translating phrases, explaining grammar rules, and even engaging in conversations with you to practice.
Wow, it's like having a Swiss Army knife of language tools. This could be a game changer for students, professionals, writers, basically anyone who uses language, which is pretty much everyone. But are there any downsides to this? It can't all be sunshine and rainbows, right?
Exactly.
Eh.
Every new tool comes with its own set of challenges. For instance, what about the potential for misuse? Could someone use ChatGPT to create fake news articles that are indistinguishable from real ones? That's a valid concern. As with any powerful technology, there's always the risk of misuse. However, it's important to remember that ChatGPT is a tool. It's the human behind the tool who ultimately decides how it's used. Just like a hammer can be used to build a house or break a window, ChatGPT can be used for good or for ill.
So it's really about responsible use and being aware of the potential pitfalls. It's like we wouldn't ban cars just because some people speed right, but we do need rules and safeguards in place.
Precisely. And just as importantly, we need to be critical consumers of information. As AI-generated content becomes more prevalent, it will be more important than ever to think critically about the sources we encounter online and offline.
It's almost like ChatGPT is giving us a crash course in media literacy. It's not just about spotting fake news anymore. It's about understanding how this technology works and how it can be used to manipulate information.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. The rise of AI like ChatGPT is pushing us to become more discerning, more analytical, more aware of the power and the limitations of language itself.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If a computer program can generate text that's this sophisticated, what does it even mean to be human in the age of AI? Are we just biological algorithms ourselves, or is there something more to us?
Ah, now those are the truly big questions, and I suspect they're questions that philosophers and scientists will be grappling with for decades to come. But that's the beauty of this technology, isn't it? It's not just about making our lives easier or more efficient. It's forcing us to confront fundamental questions about ourselves, about what it means to think, to create, to be human.
It's like ChatGPT is holding up a mirror to humanity, making us see ourselves and our potential in a whole new light. Well, folks, there you have it, a deep dive into the world of ChatGPT, a world that's both exhilarating and a little bit unnerving, full of possibilities and challenges in equal measure. If this conversation has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to keep exploring. Read up on AI experiment with ChatGPT yourself, and most importantly, keep asking questions.
Because as we venture further into this uncharted territory, one thing's for sure. The future of language, and perhaps even humanity itself, will be shaped by the choices we make today.
So until next time, keep those brains buzzing and remember the most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones you have with yourself.